Today in Albany, New York, a school coach is fired after disturbing criminal charges, a concert turns chaotic at MVP Arena, and a long-time nursing home closure puts families on edge. Plus, school zoning still mirrors redlining maps, and the Hudson River Fish Advisory hits its 50-year mark with big questions still unanswered. Dean Bark here. Welcome to the City Report with Dean Bark in Albany. Let's cut to the chase. First up, assistant coach fired amidst disturbing allegations in Amsterdam. The Greater Amsterdam School District, that's the public school district in Montgomery County, voted in March 24 to terminate Jared T. Baldizin, a 27-year-old assistant coach for the varsity boys lacrosse team. Baldizin was charged in March 2024 with felony third-degree rape and a criminal sexual act. Investigators say the alleged assault involved a student under 17 back in spring 2024 and is tied to his prior job at Broad Alban Perth Central School District, a neighboring district northwest of Amsterdam. The district moved quickly after the arrest, and officials emphasized student safety. Reports that he continued working for the state despite the charges raised tougher questions about oversight. Let's call it like it is. Someone under serious accusation should not be anywhere near a position of trust, and policy gaps on screening and interagency notifications need closing urgently. Moving on, concert chaos at MVP Arena. MVP Arena, the downtown Albany venue that hosted Cloverfest, saw trouble on a recent Friday night when a 21-year-old man from Troy was arrested. The Albany County Sheriff's Office says venue security tried to remove the man. Deputies stepped in, and then he allegedly punched a sergeant in the head. Sheriff Craig Apple said the man was acting irrationally, and officials are still probing whether intoxication played a role. The sergeant was treated at a local hospital, and arraignment was set for March 2024 in Albany City Court. Extra security helps, but as we saw, it's not foolproof. When a punch lands on a deputy in a packed arena, that's not crowd control, that's chaos. The set list should include music, not misdemeanor assaults. Let's pivot to the next story, the legacy of redlining in Schenectady's school zones. Redlining was the 1930s-era discriminatory lending practice that denied mortgages in largely black and immigrant neighborhoods, and those old maps cast a long shadow. A new report by Available for All, a nonprofit focused on expanding opportunity, finds Schenectady's school attendance zones still mirror those historic red lines, effectively limiting access to higher-performing schools and keeping segregation in place. Albany has tried to blunt these patterns with open enrollment and magnet schools, which offer specialty programs regardless of neighborhood. The finding is stark. Nearly a century later, map lines still shape classrooms and futures. Shocked? You should be. Aligning school boundaries with 1930s prejudice is not a tradition anyone needs to preserve. Shifting gears, 50 years of New York's Hudson River Fish Consumption Advisory. The core issue is PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls, long-lived toxic industrial chemicals often called forever chemicals. General Electric, the manufacturer whose Hudson River plants released PCBs decades ago, set this in motion. New York issued its broad Do Not Eat advisory in August 1975, and by 1983, the lower 200 miles of the Hudson became a federal Superfund site, the EPA's hazardous waste cleanup program. In 2002, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency ordered GE to dredge 40 miles. That dredging wrapped in 2015. In 2021, the state lost a court bid to upend the EPA's ruling on the project's status, and as of January 2025, the EPA's review shows assessments are ongoing. The debate continues. Environmental groups argue PCB levels in fish remain too high, while federal reviews point to progress with caveats. Some anglers either don't see or don't heed the advisories posted by New York health officials. The net effect, ethically speaking, responsibility has drifted from corporate polluters to individual anglers managing their own health risk. That's a tough catch to swallow. Awareness needs to be as constant as the current. Last up, St. Peter's Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Albany will close. St. Peter's, a longtime nursing home opened in 1958, cannot afford about $60 million in building upgrades, the operator says. The result is a 3-month process to relocate residents, with staff offered roles elsewhere in the health network. This isn't an isolated case. It tracks a broader statewide trend where financial strain and staffing shortages squeeze long-term care, especially with Medicaid reimbursement rates that providers say don't cover the real costs of care. Notably, the closure isn't pinned on operating losses, but on the aging building itself. For families trying to keep loved ones close and cared for, this is a painful pivot. The community can't afford to keep losing beds, while the demographics keep marching in the opposite direction. And that's your report for today from the City Report with Dean Bark in Albany. Stay informed, and we'll be back tomorrow with the latest.